What I saw was the most amazing thing I had ever seen in my life. I watched the shark leave the screen.
Okay, this setup should be better than it was last time. Let me turn off this. I'm reviewing an old podcast.
Because it felt like he was there. It went with the boat. I watched a boat.
Which I'm still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about actually posting all the old podcasts as live so that we can talk about those, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, so that's today is another one of these experience scrolls. 2 of them. Okay, that's fine. Then we have a writ coming and everything like that. So we're gonna do just fine. I am not going to get any of this stuff, but if I keep on, these are worth it. These writing speeds and shit like that, always worth it, man. Because one thing that I figured out the hard way over time is that you don't work on that horse every single day with a character. It's going to leave you behind quick, and you're just going to feel like you're trudging slowly. And I am, to be fair, because the first thing I do is I usually work on my writing speed, and that makes you slow. So let's start off. Where are we? We're here? Okay. So let's Stormhaven. Okay. Let's head down to Vardenfell, because this is just where I prefer to do all my daily shit. It's just the way that I am. This is the area. I think it's because when I started playing this game, that's where I went. That's where I started, and so that's a big part of all this. Let me see this here. Okay, well, so far that's not hurting us, even though it's not what it's asking for. And if I have to change it later on, I'll change it. But for right now, I haven't noticed any kind of major dip or problem. Oh, damn it, in the stream. But I will remember that, and I will change it, because this is the second time it griped at me about the bitrate that I'm sending. So I'll change that. But like I said, I'm not freaking out. So far it seemed like it's working fine, so yep. Nope.
Working with wood isn't quite the same as working.
Yeah. Do. There we go. Do. Now we've got that going. Now let's go over. I don't think I have any kind of jewelry stuff, so I don't think this is going to be a big deal or mean shit, but we're going to go over here and check because we should. Oh, well, okay, well, there's at least that needed to be done. I was right. I've got nothing sitting over here. Nothing to deconstruct either. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's head over here. I should have already done this. I shouldn't even leave an area until I've deconstructed, but whatever. Okay, let's see if we can't cheat a little bit today. Oh, that surprises me. I guess I haven't picked any up for a while. Well. Yep. 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 Okay, and then the rest of us, we should be doing fine, actually. And that increased experience should be even more crazy than it was, because I think there's a thing going on for the double EXP. Oh, I like how it took me here. I'm pretty sure it's just across the server, if I remember right. Yeah, we're not worried about any of this. Yeah, okay. And you know what? We actually should, for the sake of... That is not what I'm looking for. Oh, there we are. We're gonna queue up for the random. And actually, I don't think I ever joined the Dauntless. Now I gotta try to remember where that even is, where you go to... I don't remember. This way, evidently. What are we doing here, anyway? Okay. Yeah, we'll fix that later on. Okay. Where are we headed here? Okay. Oh, we did not go. There's bound to be some here. We'll go find them real quick. There they are. Okay. Nobody. So we'll go down here.
So this is life in cities free of the ash. The air is so clean here.
Hold! Speak to me before entering Warnerd, citizen.
I just came literally out of it, so no, I have nothing to say to you right now. Am I going the right way? No, I am not. I should be up and to the right. Who are we looking for?
Welcome, friend.
Okay. Now we'll head off this way. Where are we headed? Okay. Not sure exactly what we're riding into or what quest I actually honor bound, huh? Okay. Yeah, whatever. Tink. Sure. Be dead. Dead. Dink. Now, for whatever reason, this guy has our attention, so we'll kill him too. Okay, now. Oh, that's where we're going. Finally, found you. Now, what are we doing here?
I see cunning in your eyes and smell blood on your weapon. But if you're a very Ansu, I'm a bloated netch. What brings you to Muthna? Ela Senar worries too much. I never ran from a battle in my life, and I ain't about to start now.
Okay.
A very Ansu. Bah! They fear the Lodos plague. Their solution is to capture our monks and the afflicted alike and toss them in the fire. I won't stand for it. I traded my sword for a monk's robe, but I'm no coward.
I see.
That's the spirit. If it's quiet to the east, run west, I always say. Just watch out for the plague husks and rescue who you can. I'll take this poor soul and deliver her to Ela Senar.
Okay.
Come, child. Let's get you to safety.
Then I will do this part. Of course. Dink. Okay. I'm not seeing any markers or anything yet. Well, we'll look around. Dink. Dink. Oh, okay, there's 2 markers right over here, so we'll handle this. Hold on, guy. Okay, so they're in there, so let's get in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are ready. I'll end up coming out right there, but hey, there's no reason not to do it. We need to do it. I honestly hope I don't, like, slow these people down, because I am set for something very different right now. I'm basically working on trying to learn the ins and outs of the two-hand.
Never trust a necromancer. If you absolutely have to, think hard, and then walk the other way.
Wayrest investigators bleed from it.
Well, they're going to leave me behind. I actually love to see storylines and shit like that, but I know how dungeons work. And that would not work out for us. Oh yeah, we look like we will be just fine here, huh? I honestly don't see why we're fighting it, but... yeah, I agree. Oh, well, there is literally nothing to fear. Holy shit, okay.
You can't take us all.
I would disagree with that statement, but okay.
Blake, now!
Circle around.
Oh, I gotta knock this shit over.
Tormented souls of the dead arise and kill these interlopers.
Oh, fuck that. Get off me, red orb thing. Ugh.
Tormented souls of the dead arise and kill these interlopers.
Nope. No, I don't want to be the guy that stood in the red circle and fucked up the healer. Nope. Get out of the damn red circle.
You got here just in time, but I know you didn't.
Like I said, I would love to see this story. I'm sure that it's legitimately interesting for a person like me, but I know how these dungeons work. They'll leave me behind.
You'll never get past us.
Get up. Okay. No, I've never played Among Us. At least, I don't feel like I have. Best champion outfit in Pokemon? Are you talking about like the actual trainers? Because I tend to like the female trainers because they actually have choices and style, and a lot of the guys are just dude in hat. Ow! I like stood right there and took that shit like an idiot. My fault completely. Oh.
Are you?
Okay. I'll admit I feel rusty, but I don't feel like I'm not helping necessarily.
We've got you now.
Go around! Heal me! I need aid!
Yeah, we're probably going to end up replacing move 3. Either I'm noticing that I don't quite work well with it, or
Stick 'em, bleed 'em, and leave 'em for the
or maybe I just don't understand how to necessarily make use of it. But number 2 seems to cover distance and cover area, and it does it a lot more effectively, and then it has an effect over time. Oh shit, yes. I needed that. Yeah, definitely a bigger fan of the second attack. Get out of here, skeevers. Really cool. Oh shit.
To the side! Charge! Light it up!
Feet.
Charge!
Looks like they're going this way.
Looks like we're digging some more shallow graves.
Holy shit. Okay.
Move to flank.
No way you make it back to the top. Get him!
Oh, I did not mean to do that, but okay, whatever.
There will be no place for rabble like you in the Pelingare's rule Wayrest.
Oh.
There's your proof, Master Pelingare.
Okay.
Children responsible for this
Which
madness.
Gundam series haven't I watched? A lot of them.
Why did you do this?
Quite a few of them, actually. I got into Gundam through the original Gundam Wing. Then I ended up watching the original Gundam. Then I kind of stuck with the Universal Century. Watched a couple of the movies, moved here and there, but a lot of the newer stuff I have not seen, like any of it. I fell out of anime altogether for like nearly 6-7 years, where I just literally just did not care at
One
all.
of the most esteemed families in Wayrest, or they were before today.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to worry about spoiler images with me. That's not an issue. Okay. That's what I was trying to do, was get in here. Oh. Weird. My second mana. Uh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Why are you talking? Why is the game doing that like I've never done this before? Now, what happened over here? Yeah, weird. I don't know what shut that down like that. Let me get my second screen back up and running. That was weird. Yeah, you won't have to worry about spoiler images or anything like that with me. That's not an issue that I worry about. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. I like sustainability, but my job in this will definitely be to put the hurt on if I start doing dungeons and shit like that. So I like that bleed over time. But this, you know what, we're gonna go... No, we're gonna stick here. We are gonna go for the bleed damage. Okay. I like that. Okay, I like that it does extra damage to people that are less than 50% health. That's a pretty big deal, the extra damage there. And I do like that this hits other enemies, but the benefit of just wailing on that one idiot that's too dumb to step away from me. Reduce all stamina cost, yeah, which is good because I ran out of stamina last time. Yeah, and that's nice too. But we're going to come down to this stuff real quick. Yeah, I thought so. There's my sustainability. Getting there. Almost there. Cool. Now, need to look at weapons here. Really? So that deals the magic damage, but it doesn't deal as much as the Oblivion damage. I get healed more, but I'm not too on about that. And this adds that health, which I'm looking for a little bit of sustainability. I think we're jumping to this axe. We lose a little bit of our overall damage, but I really do believe it's better in the long run. Ugh, no. I didn't realize that's what that was. Okay. So, no, we're not gonna... Yeah, no, that was my mistake. Okay. In terms of this, though, we probably we'll switch down up here, because these are my other weapons. That's an 882, and that's... Okay, so we'll replace this, because I like that right there. Yep. Because this is what I'm currently working on, is buffing. I'm trying to get that two-handed equipment up. I want to see what that's like, and I want to get used to it and use some two-handed power. But all my abilities and whatnot are on my other shit. So let's see. In terms of this, just to build the passives, if I'm not mistaken, I should be wearing one light, one heavy, and then the rest should all be... medium armors. Which right now I'm rocking a medium. I have a heavy Nord helmet. Mid, heavy. Okay, so I need to replace that with a mid. Or these could be my light. Yeah, I have one heavy. I need to replace one other thing with a light, and it might turn out to be gloves. This is light. This robe is light, not a... Yeah. Oh, well, maybe light boots? No. Okay, so that is what it is then. Well... Well, shit. Okay. Well, let's replace some... Because right now I'm doing heavy gloves. The only heavy piece I'm doing... Yeah, I'm doing two heavies, so I need to replace those gloves. I need to... Well, damn. So there's really no benefit to either of these. Oh. Man, you can tell I'm tired as shit. I had a hell of a day at work. I'm sitting here looking at the thing that I fucking have on as the equipment. Damn, I'm tired. Okay. Okay. Wow, what the fuck? Okay, so we're looking at 910, 64. So this is what we're going to do here. Yeah, because that's going to max our stamina. I already did that, so that's good. Yeah, we're going to do that for right now. Yeah, whatever. They don't look good, that's for damn sure. Better helmet, but it's not worth it. There it is. Damn. Okay, we're gonna do heavy on the helmet. It's mid. And I need to get a light piece of armor so I can start leveling up the light armor so I can get some of the benefits. Because the passives will still be worth it at some point, one way or another, for one of these light armor. So I'd really like to get one. That's the closest. What I'm wearing right now doesn't really do anything except for sell better. So I'll take a small hit, but I'll do light pants, which is fine. So that's what we'll do. In order to start getting it, we're going to go light pants, because I need that in my skill sets to actually be leveling up. Where's my armor? Oh, I haven't even opened up light armor because I never bothered to equip enough of it. So let's fix that real quick. There. Of course, that's not how we're going to stay. But yeah, that gets that out of the way. So let's go back to heavy armor. Let's put our helmet back on. And then let's go back to our medium armor. Put that back on. Now we should be right again. So that should be heavy. That's mid. That's mid. That's mid. That's mid. Yeah, that's light. And that's mid. So that's the way we should be right now in terms of just moving through the PvE game and leveling up our stuff, because that's really what we're looking to do here. Ooh, stamina recovery. And health. I might like this right now. Because right now I'm just dealing with a reduced stamina cost, which is nice, but yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine for right now. Yeah, I know that. There, yeah. Now we'll be able to get the light armor resistances as it goes up, which some of those will be good even if we're just a DPS standard. Yeah. We got a new piece of furniture. Oh, yeah, it's one of those little trophies, because I haven't been doing those. Yeah, these are cool now. I like this new addition in here. Yeah, so I got a piece of these dungeon sets. So now they'll be in here, and then it'll start costing me less if I want to build them later or whatever. This is a good thing. I like that they're doing this. Okay. I'm gonna rescue you. We're actually gonna get on with this fracking mission because I just been standing here for a while. But I wanted to get all that stuff out of the way.
Thank the tribunal. It was getting so hot in here.
I mean, you were sitting up here with the breeze. I mean, compared to where some of your other friends are sitting. Speaking of which, where are your other friends? Let's... Well, they're in here somewhere, so let's go looking. And we're going to end up fighting these guys. Oh, shit. Okay, pay attention to what the fuck you're doing, Bill. Okay, here's 2 more.
Praise Vivek. Did Doril send you?
Thank the tribunal. It was getting so hot in here.
Okay, stop saying that. Oh. I guess I picked a fly off my dog. I didn't see that fucking fly. Okay, so they're not in there. We'll head over to this one. There's always time to pick a flower. Nobody's in here. Man, this double experience weekend is going to be sick. I'm not even big on rushing towards the end game or anything like that, but I mean, shit. I haven't done anything really, and that's 3 levels already, and shit, we spent half the time just standing here. We'll do this one. Yeah, now we'll see what's this do. Magicka recovery, which right now I don't use any, but my class stuff does, so it's still important. Reduce the effectiveness of snares. Yeah, inevitably, long term, that's a good deal. That's neat. See? Yeah, nice. Okay. Now, where in the shit is this last person? Okay, so he's in this area somewhere. Oh, there he is. You, go home.
Praise Vivek.
Thank the
Did Doril send you?
I need your help. They captured Doril Belvey. They tied him up and threw him into a burning building, and they continue to fan the flames. They consider our work to be blasphemous, and fire is their solution to everything. Please, you must save Doril.
Okay, first off, holy shit, and second, he better be real close by if they're just a fan in flames.
I'm leaving before something bad happens to me too.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, we're headed that way. Is that it? Is that the other house that I'd passed by before? And yeah, it is, isn't it? Alright, I'm coming around the back or whatever. You know, what kind of tied up are you? Are you actually tied to that post? Because I was going to say, you could just, like, walk out.
You showed up. I was beginning to get a bit charred around the edges.
There's no fire here. There's, like, fire all the way over there, and this is brick. So, I mean, from what I could see, you're fine.
Fire. It's the very answer's answer to everything.
It's all the way over there.
Purified plague victims and blasphemers alike. Those Kwama droppings. I tried to circle around a pack of plague husks and ran right into an Ashlander patrol. We can't go, not yet. The very Ansu believe we defiled the tier of St. Veloth. They plan to destroy it. We have to get to the monastery and save the tier. If they destroy it, we're all lost.
All right, okay. We'll do that then. Let's go do that. Man, what is happening? I gotta fix that. Okay, we're going to see if we can fix that real quick, because I do not like that it is doing that. I need to tell it not to fucking do that shit. Ugh, damn it. There we go. No, we'll do that. And then this. Never. Stop doing that shit. There, that should fix it. What the fuck? It keeps shutting down on me every time I leave it be for like 10 minutes. I didn't realize it was set like that. Okay, so I'm guessing we go in here. Oh, yeah, we do.
The tier is kept below in the basement. Let's go get it.
Yep. Let me guess, you're down there dying, aren't you? And if you die, it's probably going to fuck me, so I guess I'll go down there. Oh. So no matter what, you're stuck like that. So I am going to continue doing what I was originally about to go do. And that was search this place and see what I can get out of it. You guys just have like a bunch of coffee. What the fuck? Sure. Sure, I could always use a lockpick. At least I got something out of this. Yes. Okay, let's go down and save him. Wow. I like how that person is over there. That person doesn't seem to be very interested in me, though, so I'll just talk to you.
Go. Don't worry about me. Get the tear.
Okay. Tear! Now give me that shit. Take it. Ooh, a heavy sack.
God, I haven't been hit like that since the war. Witch must have put a hex on the tear. Did you see that? Threw me clear across the room.
I was actually upstairs looting, so I actually did not see that.
By Veloth's hammer. That's the best news I've heard all day.
Is it?
The very Ansu are never going to leave us be. Not while their leader's still alive. I know that sounds terrible, but it's true. Yes, Ashkan Ginasa leads these Ashlanders. Go to the very Ansu camp and kill him.
Okay.
Cut off the head of the snake, and the body dies. Then they won't threaten the tear of Saint Veloth ever again.
Then that's what I shall do. Go horse! Awesome. Okay, where are we headed? I'd hate to be wrong and jump down in that swamp and not be able to get back, so we're gonna go this way, I guess. Well, what happened to you?
The bastards. I wish I could make them pay for what they've done. Those bastards up there. The very Ansu. They torched Muthnar and killed my father. My brothers and I are hoping for a chance to strike back. This is about revenge and honor. That's the problem. We wanted to avenge Father's death, so we split up to find a way, but I'm not that brave. There's too many of them. I'd just be throwing my life away.
Okay.
You look tougher.
Oh, I shouldn't have played around. I took an actual heavy-handed hit there. Fuck your stuff. Fuck your stuff. I have yet to see any of the Titans, but everything I hear about it makes me think that it's going very well. I'm kind of hoping to just buy the season outright and just watch the whole damn thing, like, uninterrupted. Oh, shit. Hack 'em up! Holy shit! You guys almost killed me. I'm gonna burn your stuff. What do you mean it's out of range? It's right there. Burn it. Okay. Damn, be dead.
Father, oh Father, why did this happen to you?
So far I am passing on the PS5. I don't know. I don't see a reason this time. Now that could change when some games start coming out. But as it stands, yeah, my gaming habits have changed quite severely. Well, at least they won't get anything out of it, guy. Now I have got to go complete what I had originally started. Oh, some jute. Make a shirt. I'm guessing you're in there, aren't you?
An invader in our camp?
Yep.
You'll die for this.
Oh, fuck. Oh, storm is coming. I took care of it.
Is it done? I put the tear of St. Belloc in a safe place. Now maybe the Ashlanders will leave us alone.
Well, he's dead.
By the three. Let's hope the very Ansu go home now. I just pray I haven't made things worse. I left the army to get the blood off my hands, but look how that turned out. You killed him, but I let the arrow fly. Still, you have my thanks.
Okay. That took care of that. There we go. Now that light armor is leveling up. No, Miles Morales, Morales or whatever. It looks fine. But it's a very short game, and it's one game. I mean, to justify the cost of literally doubling the power of my PC by buying another graphics card, I mean, like, why? And that's pretty much why my gaming habit has changed. And it's changed severely also because of people. What used to keep me playing things like the PlayStation was that I wanted to play with people. And I wanted people to come over and play games. And you'll sometimes hear me joke about it on the podcast where, like, I'll mention that the guys don't play games. We don't. We do not game together. You see me here playing this alone, nobody else. Like, that's all the time. Holy shit! Okay, so we walked over here at the very end of all this. But that's okay. There's a retreat down here. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, not having any of the guys to actually play games with, if I'm gonna game by myself, I may as well just be here gaming by myself. And that changes a lot of the way that I used to view a lot of this stuff. Because for me, a lot of all this was this is like my social activity. And when it became not social, like, I just kind of stopped giving a shit in terms of that. And that's driven me away from consoles pretty hard. Because computer, you just kind of play by yourself. Except for, you know, yeah, the people, like on here, I could do dungeons and shit with people I don't know, and that's good and fine, but yeah, a lot of my time is spent just kind of doing my own thing now. And since my gaming habit changed in that way, that's kind of where I sit now with all this. I didn't realize how much shit I had, like, accumulated. Yeah, it's extra money, but you know what? It's in my inventory right now, and I don't have anybody to sell it to at this current time, so it's sold. Okay, that picked my inventory back up a little bit. Yeah, I also heard that whole thing that they were doing, it honestly disappointed me a little bit to hear that it had already kind of received the reboot button. Because I was hoping that would last for a little while. Yeah, goodbye to that stuff. That for right now. Get rid of that for right now. Now what's this rocking? Okay, we're gonna put this on what we're handling right now, and then we're gonna put this on this for right now, and then that will be fine. That got my inventory mostly back under control. No, son of a bitch, why is it doing that? I lost my screen again. Oh shit, yeah, our stuff should be here now, shouldn't it? Okay, I don't know why that keeps happening. Would really like it to not fucking happen. That. What's this? Nope. It's something in my options that keeps shutting it down. But I thought for sure I just told it not to do that shit. Okay, so let's go. The shit is that? We'll go in here and we'll see that here. Here. This. No. This. Okay, yeah, see? I said that. Oh, I'll bet you that's it right there. That's the setting. That's what's causing me problems. Nope. And we go in here. We tell this nope. I shouldn't have to do this. There. Now that should stay the way that I've told it to stay. There we go. Fixed, I assume. Now, this was worth it, so let's go up here. I just remembered. Okay. Okay, so if I'd have come here as a tank, this place would have been really worth it then. Bad snake! Yeah, I saw that the actual dog... Ugh. Why is this water all gross? I like how I just go swim in it when I'm like, ugh, gross, gross water. Oh, I probably should have checked as to what it is that I'm literally running towards right now, because I wonder if I'm, like, trying to cross the map. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's looking like all the way over here. And I'm all the way down here. So we'll go here and we'll port over there if nothing else. Oh, I was unaware that I was in a group still. Let's go fix that. Go, 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 go! I don't know if anybody's over here fighting it. I don't know if I'd like to do one alone. Well, there's a group here, so let's help out, shall we? There we go. I got my bearings a bit here. Oh, fuck. Damn. So far, this is going well.
I give you one chance to surrender. Surrender to your death.
Oh no.
I am patient, but not that patient.
Oh shit, wait. Well. Let's look at that. No. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, we'll go back to the sword for a little while. Character's starting to look a little bit ridiculous. Gonna have to actually start setting some styles rather than relying on what armor I'm wearing to make it look right. Oh shit! That was a bigger drop than I was expecting. Cool. Wait, you're a Daedra, aren't you? Oh, yes. Okay. That's working out for me. Battle for Middle-earth 2. I feel like I did try that. I can't remember how much I tolerated it or how much I lasted. I'm weird about Lord of the Rings because it looks and feels like something I should like a lot, but I don't know if it just I guess the way I could explain it is that I like things like Conan the Barbarian, but, like, I don't necessarily like high fantasy. Like, in a way, I really almost shouldn't even like this, but I can choose it to be as brutal as I want it to be. Because I make the character, and I take quests, and I am doing a lot of things that I can reference off, like barbarian type of stuff. But a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff, some of it, like, really bothers me. Like, and it's hard to explain, and it's little things, but it's things that I see that really bug me. Like, to me, Gandalf seems highly incompetent, and I know I've had a couple of people get mad when I say that, but, like, in that movie, it really bothers me how little he actually does. And magic is so unbelievably, like, it's just like force pushes over and over and over again, which doesn't excite me, like, at all. It's really hard to explain what catches my attention and what doesn't. And I get that that's weird, but, like, I love things like Conan the Barbarian. And then I do like high fantasy when it comes to something like this. And I love fantasy art, and I like elves and things like that. Everything about Lord of the Rings should entice me. It should make me give a shit. But for some reason, I just don't. And I've never been able to figure out why. There's 16. I'm almost there. Yeah, I remember back when I first saw Lord of the Rings, and there were a bunch of people that were like, oh my god, isn't it so good? And I was like, no? And they were like, what do you mean? And I thought maybe, I remember thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm like a Star Wars kind of guy, and maybe my fantasy is, you know, because I like Star Trek and whatnot. So I said, maybe the kind of stuff that I like is science fiction more than anything else. But then I started getting into, like, science fiction, and I found out that that's not necessarily true either. And then I liked, when I was growing up, I liked, like, Xena, and I was okay with Hercules, and then I discovered Red Sonja, and then from Red Sonja I discovered Conan the Barbarian, and then stuff like that just kind of blew me away from that point. But I like my stuff to have that hard edge to them. You calm down, lady, with all the hurrahs and everything. $38. It's getting close. Nice. Yes, very much so. I like that forceful thing. Okay. I think there's a couple of properties that would have benefited from like the Mass Effect kind of style of RPG, and okay, not necessarily its fighting system for every single one of the games, but like a Mass Effect style of RPG would have worked amazingly for something like Star Wars. And it did, to be fair, because there is KOTOR, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. That is a fucking great game. I love KOTOR, and I like, even still, like, there's another MMO that I'm currently playing. I love Star Wars The Old Republic. I love that fucking game. But I will say that I've noticed that, I think Star Trek could have done really well with something like that. And I also can't help but notice that I honestly believe that another franchise that would have done really well, believe it or not, like Gundam could have benefit massively from something like that. Because Gundam in general works, especially in the UC, it works because of its connection. Okay, I need... which one is it talking about then? Weird. Oh, fucking butthole. That would be fucking sweet if she actually screamed out, "This is Sparta!" But you'll notice, like, when I... like, if you do ever get in, like, these hangout streams that I do from time to time, you'll notice that when I make characters, I make, like, Red Sonja, I make, see, but there's the other thing, like I was just about to say. It's weird, the things that seem to catch my attention heavily, because, like, I don't like the cliche muscle guy. I get so tired of that. It's one of the reasons that I constantly pick female characters, is because I don't like the cliche muscle guy, the I'm so fucking strong. Like, the power fantasy is less for me there because it's less skill and it's more about how brutally strong and big his pecs are and how he can take so much damage and how he's so tough and he's a man, and like, it just does nothing for me. But I like it when it's played off in terms like Red Sonja or Xena or something of that nature. I like that concept because there's a lot more skill involved with that form of barbarian tale. It's not just brute strength. You have to be clever, you have to be powerful, you have to have frickin' balls of steel. Oh, it's not that he didn't get one. I've mentioned it before. If you look at Gundam, there were a lot of people that turned down the development of other Zaku's as Zaku's came out, because the Zaku 1 hit, and then like Zaku 2 hit, and then like all these mobility variants and shit like that started hitting. And after you had a Zaku that was kind of customized to an exact build that you liked, and that was what you were used to, and that was what you used, a lot of those pilots, like bigger pilots that could have done way more with high mobilities, they didn't want them. They turned them down, saying, untested, don't care, I've got this the way I want it. And they turned those suits down, and turning those suits down may not have been their best idea ever.
Covenant soldiers are waiting to the north. Tread carefully.
But at the same time, it may have been exactly what they needed, was to not get in these new suits, because I honestly have wondered if those if like the Black Tri-Stars, had they kept with what they were in, the Zaku 2s that they had already customized, already built to their weapon sets and their ideas and the way that they fight, Amuro may have been in real trouble. Because while he'd already proved that he can outmaneuver a Zaku, those were 3 guys with a very distinct fighting style that worked together that he had never encountered, and they gave up that advantage by switching to the Doms, which they practiced with the Doms for a little while, and it seemed like they were like, hey, these are some great suits, we're going to kick ass, but they lost part of their fighting style by going to the Doms.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
Because by going to the Doms, their weapon sets changed, their mobility changed, their reaction time changed, and everything that they were customized to went away. And so then you'd have to believe that that would have affected their ability to fight exponentially. It's the same as teaching a person how to box for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden throwing him in the ring with a kickboxer. Like, that's not exactly going to do that guy a favor. Sure, he's a good boxer, but you just gave him a completely different game to play. And it could very well unsettle him. Okay, yes, you're undaunted. Holy shit. Are you kidding me with this? In terms of like a Wonder Woman, I fucking love Wonder Woman, because I love that it takes that other angle of the barbarian Amazon nature. She is a warrior at heart. She's power. She'll thrash your ass, but at the same time, she was brought up in this concept of love and understanding and determination, and that changes the way that she approaches those situations. It's very interesting to me how she reacts under circumstances, because she will go out of her way to do things for her enemies that other people simply will never do. Like, you'll never see, while Superman will go out of his way for enemies, you never see Superman go out of his way to, like, tell Lex Luthor, I understand. But Wonder Woman has. Wonder Woman has gone directly to some of the highest class enemies that she's ever had, some of the most dangerous people that have ever been on her heels, and she has told them, I know why you hate me. I see it, I understand it, I get what's going on, I know why we'll never be friends, but us being friends doesn't matter. Like she went out of her way to save the little girl of her absolute worst enemy. And the reason she did it was because nobody deserves to suffer that kind of a fate. She needs to know that her daughter is going to be safe. And even though Wonder Woman, they were never going to be friends, and they even told each other, she said, this doesn't change anything. I don't like you. We're still enemies. And Wonder Woman told her to her face, I know, but I also know that your daughter is safe. And there's something about Wonder Woman that I absolutely love about that concept in her character. But at the same time, when Superman and Batman were willing to turn their backs on a situation that was highly dangerous, when they had an enemy that quite literally was dangerous if he was left alive, she killed Max Lord. Why? Because he was dangerous, and she was trained as a warrior, and she has that barbarian aspect, she has that warrior edge, and she turned around and she said, "This cannot stand. He has to go. He's dangerous. You won't make the decision. I will." And she killed him. Snap. And then they got all, "Oh, we're the Justice League. We don't fucking kill people. That's not okay." And she was like, "In this instance, it's okay. And it doesn't matter if you hate me, because we are working partners, and our job is to protect people, and what I just did protected people." And that's interesting about her, because she walks that line on both edges. I love Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman so much. Weren't the HM Zaku's for space use? Okay, but the HM Zaku's, yes, they were built for space use, but they were essentially modified Zaku 2s. So if you'd have put them in something that was still essentially the same kind of machine, they could have kept most all of their weapons. Because they use different weapons than what they used, because all of a sudden you gave all three of them a backsword, which that backsword is notorious for not being very reliable, and a bazooka. And that's good and fine, but that's not what the TriStars used. So, like, I do believe that they hurt themselves by switching to the DOMs.
This is a gathering of the Undaunted, and you're about to become one of us. Hope your ears are ready to bleed.
Bleed 'em, buddy!
Put it together, Mutts! We've got a new scamp that's ready to risk life and limb for glory!
Yeah!
And I say, we welcome the scamp as only we know how!
I could always use an assistant or a scribe to record my exploits.
I think the new blood could help me in the privy. I'm not supposed to lift anything heavy.
We're looking pretty light from here, Felton. I propose a toast to the newcomer.
Hear, hear! A toast.
Aye, a toast and a song!
Hear, hear!
A song?
To those who fall in battle to the new scamp, how shameful it must be to look upon that ugly face as the last thing you see.
To those who fall in love with the scamp, for they have sacrificed so much for so little.
To the new scamp's blacksmith, unused swords rarely need repair.
Fine toasts, one and all. Now, for the song.
Who knows no fear of beast or blade?
Undaunted! Undaunted!
Who knows no fear of Daedric Plain?
We are undaunted!
Who knows no fear of death, of age?
Undaunted! Undaunted! We are undaunted!
Your song was so bad, guys.
For a bunch of half-wit drugs.
Okay.
Take pride in being undaunted, scamp. Your deeds will live on long after your body fails.
Well, nice, I guess.
What are you looking at? The song's over. And we're done. You are now one of the undaunted. Divines help you.
Okay.
That's all there is to it. Welcome to the fold, scamp. You may one day have as many notches in your axe as I do. Oh, who am I kidding? No, you won't.
Damn. Sorry.
What do you get? How about unending glory? Indeed. What should
Okay, cool. That's done. I can't believe that I didn't make it over here to do that. That's like super freaking important, is to actually lock down that Undaunted shit. I should have done that. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't wait way too long. I'm only like, I only got this character to like level 26 or whatever before I started today. That's still pretty damn late, but regardless. So let's see, what else are people saying here? The best custom mobile suit pilot color? Oh. I don't know. Cause see, like, I really like Rumble Rawl. He is easily one of my all-time favorite characters in the entire history of Gundam. Especially after all the Origin shit came out. But, well, I mean, I do like his color scheme, because I've used his color scheme, but I modify it. I dark the blue a little bit, and then I use black undertones, and then I use a type of glow red in the color schemes that I was making for myself on Battle Operations 2. And then also I used a lot of I created like an ice blue color that I used on there as well. I like the red mobile suits and whatnot. I prefer Johnny's color scheme of red over Char's color scheme of red, and that has nothing to do with character-wise. It's just Johnny uses a deeper, harder red, and he emphasizes it with black tones, and I like that. And I also like the skull suit type of look, where it's super white, and then they use the black to emphasize and pull that white out even harder. I like that a lot. So, I mean, it just depends, because I think it also depends on what kind of unit you have, because Zaku's, they just look better in certain color schemes than they do in other color schemes. If you took, like, Amuro's color scheme and put it on a Zaku, it doesn't look good. It looks pretty bad. I can't remember if it was the Greg Rucka run. It was right before the Final Crisis stuff happened. If I remember right, if I'm remembering back to that time properly, it was right at the end of the countdown stuff that happened in 52, if I'm not mistaken. And she killed Max Lord, and then shortly after she did that, it may have literally been a book, if not the next book after she made that decision, that it led into, like, Final Crisis. I can't honestly remember, but I think it was around that time. I can't say that it would be impossible to send by my colors. We're gonna, because we're coming up on our time, I'm gonna go find because I want to go get some of my daily stuff out of the way. I might have to get a different mouse. Maybe get one of those mouse pads with the numbers on the side, because, look, I don't know if it's just that, oh, fuck, that I hadn't spent years on the computer, because switching is hard to me. The keyboard and mouse thing, holy shit. There are 3 copies of you standing here, lady. Oh, it's outside the wall, isn't it?
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
No, I have no idea how long you've been looking for me, because I am going out here to this waypoint. Okay. Right here. I could, I could try to snap a shot, go downstairs, and because I would send it to the Discord or whatever. But yeah, I had a couple of custom colors that I used. Okay, we're done with that. Let's go over to the woodworks. Oh, no, not deconstructing that. And we are currently researching, so that's taken care of. Let's go over here. Yeah, but like I said about all the stuff that like the barbarian thing and whatnot, I mentioned that there are a lot of things that I've wanted to do in my life. Like a lot of things. Everybody has things they want to do. And I've had a lot of different things that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be a DJ on the radio. I wanted to be like a radio personality. And I essentially made that happen. It wasn't perfect, but I did that for what it's worth. And I mean, there are other things, like I wanted to learn how to do film, so I learned how to do it, and I actually did. I made small little movies that I posted. I made skit comedies, and I learned how to do editing, and I learned how to do some simple tricks here and there with you know, with higher editing programs and whatnot. And I taught myself enough to literally get myself a job doing what I do. And then we're gonna go over here. Off of that, I got that surprised me. There's not a fishing thing anywhere here. But, yeah, that's something I wanted to do, so I forced myself to learn how to do certain things like that. And then one thing that I wanted to do was I kept saying to myself that I wanted to do a comic book. And when I got to thinking about what that was going to entail, how I was going to do a comic book, one of the things that I got to thinking about was what kind of comic I would like to do. And the more I thought about it, I've written like small Star Trek mini tales and things like that, and I've done stuff like that, but one of my favorite things is, like I said, that harsh Conan the Barbarian style stuff. And that is actually what this character is based on. Is I have written a 5-part comic book, and I'm still in the terms of scripting it out and everything, but I've written it, and it's going to be called Bara Blondess, and there's a reason Blondess is going to be a term that's used in that world as a negative term that's used for like bar wenches and shit like that. They're referred to as blondesses. And I've crafted this entire idea of where her backstory came from. And the reason I picked those tattoos on her face is because that actually comes down to the last moment she spends with her father. When her father dies, they have a thing that they do with each other that I build up through the first comic. When they meet, he will put his hands kind of like on the sides of her head, and they touch foreheads, and they just kind of touch foreheads for a second, and then they stop. It's just like a little thing that her and him do. It's only between the father and the daughter, and then the mother is very traditional. She like gives like a little kiss and a hug and things like that. But the father, there's a bond there that's different, and when he dies, she will be over his body as he dies, and he will do that same thing as he's laying down. She will lay over him for a moment, and he will reach his hands up to do that, and as his hands fall down her face and he loses it, he dies, he will leave these red marks, these finger marks on her face, and she will tattoo that part of her face, leaving a small part of her father with her for the rest of her life. And that's after she joins the sellswords that will discover her at the campsite of what's left of her home. So when I was building the character and I started playing this game, it was around the same time when I was writing it, and I just kind of got ahead of the curve in the idea of I wanted to keep my mind on that principle, on that idea, and kind of keep the character fresh in my mind as I wrote. So the last like 5 games that I've had a chance to kind of make Bara, I've made her in these games. So like I have Bara on here, and I also have Bara on Soul Calibur 6 that I play. And I also made Bara when I started replaying Dragon Quest, Dragon Age. So that's kind of just to keep it in my mind and keep myself motivated to write that character and get these 5 books fully scripted before I start looking for an artist. I've been keeping my mindset and kind of making Bara in every game that I play to kind of keep my mind where it is. Oh, I fucked that up. See, Ortega versus Shaw and Fire. Even though Ortega would like to beat the fuck out of Shaw, it ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen. Period. I don't think that here's the thing. I think that the reason I put it down and I say that that Amuro would have been in trouble is that Amuro was still new, and he'd only beat Shaw on the aspect that Shaw was still rocking a single Zaku 2 that was weaker in armor, by the way, and carried less firepower than other Zakus in order to guarantee its speed. So it didn't carry the firepower and the weaponry necessary to put down the Gundam. Now I will say that the bazooka that the Zaku 2 can rock, he could have caused significant real damage to the Gundam, and had he caught him with the Heat Hawk, he could have caused serious damage. But Amuro was just good enough by the time that he chased Shaw out of the Zaku 2 that Shaw did not have the power to contend, and that's when Shaw started making jumps to other suits. So I actually believe that if you put Shaw and Ortega on the battlefield and they're both rocking Zaku 2s, Ortega would be wiped before he ever realized what even happened. But if you put those 3 men, not just Ortega, not just Gaia, no, all 3 of those men would have to be present in their Zaku 2s, even if it's like high mobility Zaku 2s or something like that. Something that keeps them in something that they understand, which is the Zaku 2s. They understand that fighting capability. They understand its limits. They understand its weaponry. They're trained in it. They're used to it. They'd be better with it. Those 3 guys all at once against Amuro in that early state in the war, especially with his mind fucked up at the time because they killed Medea. The Medea Supply Corps. They killed damn it, I'm trying to remember her name. They get a picture with her and everything. She was like his first real like crush, like coming out of boyhood into kind of being a man, like that was the first woman that he kind of fell for. And it was one of those things kind of like when kids like their teacher. And at least when I was growing up, we weren't fucking our teachers. It seems to be a normal thing that you could just do now. I don't know when that started happening. But when we were kids, we just kind of like got attracted to a certain teacher in the school. We never like got to fuck her. Like, I don't know when that started happening, but I see that in the news all the time now. Matilda, yes, yeah, Miss Matilda, yes, thank you. That's exactly who I was trying to think of. But yes, that makes sense to me. Yes. I do believe that under those circumstances, Amuro would have been beaten because he would have been up against 3 different kinds of attacks all at once, and they would have been more used to their suits than even he was in his suit. And even though he had a superior suit, it is not always the suit. Sometimes it really is the pilot that makes a huge difference. And while Char did not carry the firepower necessary alone, mind you, he did not carry the ability alone to take him out because he couldn't make the firepower he needed. And that's important. Look, it doesn't matter how many times you throw a rock at a tank. A rock is a rock. You need the firepower to take down the tank. So maybe with other people, he could have done it, but he couldn't do it. Now, Ortega and Gaia and Nash, if I remember right, I think that's right. I think they could have taken him because that's 3 different weapons from 3 different angles that he wouldn't be able to counteract as easily, and he hadn't come in contact with anybody that used like a giant axe and the bazooka and the cracker grenades all in sequence the way that they did that. They were famous for the way that they worked as a team. I think what killed them was they switched to the DOMs. And while those may have been superior mobile suits, sometimes these other guys that turned down high mobility Zaku's, they were right to do so, because it didn't do them any favors to switch to something that they weren't used to. In fact, in most cases, it got a lot of pilots killed to switch to things that they weren't necessarily used to using. Because then you're on a learning curve, and the worst time to learn how to do something is when somebody's trying to fucking kill you. Like, it's the worst time to learn how to do something, is when somebody is killing you. MASH. It's not Nash, it's MASH. I think... Here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you that he should have been, because your next question is, who should Amuro have been with? He should not have been with Frau. It doesn't make sense. Because, and it's cutesy to say that he belongs with Frau and whatever, but it makes more sense to me that she kept giving her all to this guy that she liked, and he hadn't really grown into that level yet. He wasn't... It's not that he doesn't like Frau, but he, that kind of love, that kind of interest wasn't there for Amuro yet. He really hadn't grown up. And later, when he did grow up and he did become interested in that kind of stuff, he was coming into his own, and she was not the person whom his eye was leaning. Now, he did like Sayla, and I think that that's very noticeable, that if you pay attention to where, like, Frau would irritate him, because he didn't like her that way, and as he started to like girls, he started to see that she got all shitty because she liked him, but his mind wasn't quite there yet, so it built a natural resistance to them ever going down that path, and that happens. But Hayato was interested from day one. He liked that girl a lot. And I think that makes more sense, that she started to see the little things that she liked about Amuro when he would try. Hayato was that kind of guy all the time. Hayato always gave it everything he had, even if it was pointless. Even if there was no way ever that he was ever going to win said confrontation, he always gave it 110 fucking %. And then that comes down to natural talent and whatnot. He was never going to be a star on the battlefield. But he was there, he never bitched out, and he always gave everything he had to the situation, and those were traits that when Amuro showed them sparingly, that's one of the things that made her really like Amuro. But this guy was showing those traits all the time, so Hayato is perfect for Frau. It just makes too much sense. That's what she wanted. It's what she was looking for. She was just blinded to the fact that the other guy was in front of her because it's just like when you date the girl that looks pretty and pass up the girl that you had a lot more in common with. We do that dumb shit. We're people. We do that dumb shit. Hell, my wife was with one guy after another that were pieces of shit before she wound up with me. And she'll straight out tell you, they were pieces of shit. She was with some shitty guys. But it takes that testing ground to kind of make decisions and chase what you think you want to figure out what you actually want. So that's once again, like I was saying in the Discord today, that is exactly what makes the Universal Century such a big deal, is the Universal Century is built for that kind of aspect. Human aspect. It tells human tales in a time of war. And that's immensely important to the Universal Century because it picks a main character as the situations call for it. Like, you remember that even in the original Gundam, Amuro was the main character, but it would leave Amuro sometimes, and it would follow an entire episode where all it did was follow Char. And it would switch, and it would leave Amuro, and it would go entire episodes where all it did was follow the progression of Frau and Hayato. And sometimes it would leave, because they weren't, the main character was whoever was the human story during the war at that point. It was a war epic. And I think that's when the Universal Century does it the best. And that's the reason that the Universal Century interests me so much, is because of that little itty-bitty narrative that I just wound all the way up with. That little thing is found with those two characters, and it's such a human, real, interesting thing that can be dissected and learned from, and I find that fucking amazing. In terms of Sayla would have made sense, and it was the person that he was interested in as he started to come into his own. That was the first person he kind of had feelings for. Because you could tell by the way he reacts to her and by the way she kind of calms him down and she can get things out of him that nobody else can get. Well, that's because he liked her. He just didn't know how to process it yet. And maybe if the two had been allowed to stay around each other, but they were separated. Like after the war, those two people were separated. You could see it in Zeta. They were kind of put in their own little corners and told to be quiet. Well, that kind of ruins that they would have ever ended up together. But it would have made sense. Now, the thing that broke him mentally and fucks up his chance of having a real relationship with anybody for basically his entire life is, one, he suffers from the effects of being drug into the war at the age that he was at. That's unavoidable. But two, he's actually hurt at the same time because he bonded on a psychic level with Lala. And that screws his mind up, and she is always there for the rest of his life, and he never once, never ever again finds a new type with that level of intuition, with that level of psychic connection, that he can bond on that level again, and he's kind of looking for that for the rest of his life. So every single other relationship that he picks up along the way is doomed to failure. Because Chan, like, she likes him, and you can tell that he cares, but it's never going to be a thing. It's never going to be a thing because of what happened. And because his mind is always preoccupied. And that's another thing about learning the human element, learning human interaction, learning what it is to be human. That's a huge fucking deal. Because we do that as people. You've heard about the rebound girl. What happens is these guys, they get with girls, or these girls get with guys, and then they live this fucking relationship, and it's a big deal. It's a real relationship. And then when it goes the wayside, they try to tell themselves all this crap like, I don't love that person. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. That's not true. If you loved somebody, then on some level, in some way, for the rest of your life, you always will. There was something about that person that drew you to that part of the relationship, and though the idea has changed, you will always care about that person in a certain way. And Lala, he never got to resolve that conflict, so every girl he picks up from this point on is just filling a hole. They're all rebound girls, and that's so sad, but in all honesty, until Amuro can deal with Lala soon, I can't put him with anybody. Because Chan may have been right. We don't get a lot of time with her, but it seemed like he gave a shit. Like he legitimately cared. But he couldn't care past a certain point. And though he tried like hell, he was still dreaming about Lala. So, yeah. And then Char, oh my god. Everybody loves Char, so I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble. If Char is leading on 14-year-old girls, then he never got over Lala either. And it's disturbing. It's disturbing because he seems to have these, like, relationships that are mostly political, while at the same time he's leading on young girls that are like 13, 14 years old. Old Char is not the same guy that everybody likes from the original show. He's fucking not. Char's counterattack Char is a very different man, and not one that you should be aspiring to be, because he's fucked up. Pretty much done what I'm gonna do here. Oh, you know what? You know what we could do, though? Rather than just kicking out of here, let's go... I think I completed Bleak Rock with this person, so we're not going to go to Bleak Rock, but we'll go over here, because I did want to check out outfits real quick. I wanted to see what I had sitting in my collection. I think it's down below. Oh, well, why don't you bring up the map, Bill? You go to the other building. Yeah, you're talking about Char, but you can't... I'm sorry, there's no way that you can defend counterattack Char. He is blatantly leading on a 14-year-old child. He's doing that. He's... Even if he's playing games, he's doing that. Because, look, there's really no way to justify this. If you are willing, as a person, to lead on a 14-year-old girl, then you have fucking problems. Period. You have fucking problems. Like, there's no real way that you can justify that concept, that idea. You have fucking problems. And that's what he was doing. Because no matter how you slice it, he was very ridiculously interested in, like, in her. And in terms of, like, what he could get out of her. And the way he chose to do that was to lead her on like he was, like that was his little girlfriend thing. And yeah, he did that. He did that. I'm sorry, he did that. What's going on here? Okay, first off, no on the helmet thing, period. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Yeah, no on the helmet, period. I don't like the helmet showing. It's not that he just did a lot of things wrong. People like Char, so they're willing to look past it. You wouldn't look past it if some guy, some 40 fucking year old man was hitting on... You wouldn't look past it, man. You wouldn't. Nobody would. They would all have a problem with the aspect of a 40-year-old man that is interested, even if he's manipulating, he's manipulating sexually. And you wouldn't be okay with that. You just wouldn't. Because Shane hates that too, that I call that out. And I'm not even saying that you hate it. I'm just simply mentioning that this is a truth of the situation. That's what he was doing. He was willing to manipulate her on a sexual level. Even if she wasn't getting sex, that's the angle he was playing. That she was gonna be his girl. And that's the reason she followed him, and that's the reason she got bent out of shape, and that's the reason she got all weird. But see, when she tried that shit with Amuro, when she was like, oh, Amuro, there's Amuro, I like Amuro. Amuro was not willing to play that game. He would treat her with respect, but she was still a child, and he was very blatantly like, yeah, you're a child. And that's as far as that was going to go. Ever. But Char was willing to play that game. Now, the thing about Rumble Rawl is Rumba, and I don't know what information you have that I don't have, but yeah, he did wrong things, but he also did wrong things in a time of war. And when it came to committing mass genocide, he was not willing to go down that route. And he took the hit to his rank, his pride, and his family to say, I won't do that shit. what caused me to like him was the way that he has like a wife, and he has men, and he cares about the people under his leadership, and he's a literal respectable, which is rare in terms of old man characters, because old guy characters are always like perverts and freaks in anime. But he was a guy. He was a genuine, real person that you would be interested to have. You would be happy to have him as the guy that is leading your team, that is helping you, that gives a shit enough to be there for you and your people. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, you're talking about Norris Packard, yeah. Well, in terms of the anime that I saw, they didn't say his age, and now that I've seen the origin, it's easier to blanket the concept that he's in his 30s. But then again, I could buy that he's in his 30s and he looks old because, I mean, look, I sport a white goatee. I'm a little heavier set than I was in my youth. I'm going back into boxing, but that's not cutting my weight dramatically. I am a middle-aged man that has a certain gene pool that has to really go out of my way if I'm ever going to look like I was when I was fucking 20 again. Like, you just go 7 years back in my film catalog, and you'll see that I do not look the same as I used to look. But, that being said, I'm okay with that. And looking at him, I could believe that he's probably in his mid-30s, because that's where I am, and I could probably cosplay Rumble Rawl if I actually went out of my way to do it. I could probably get away with that. I'm having a lot of trouble in just the chest piece, because I like the arms to be open, but I don't think this is necessarily right. I mean, it could be if I built the rest around it properly, but it doesn't feel right. And that seems like too much. I'm thinking I'm staying up here. It wouldn't have been premature war either. I mean, look, they had a belief. They had a belief, and they had something they were going for, and the people were behind him, because when Degwin Zabi died, they rallied behind that idea that he had been wronged, that their chance at this freedom, that because everybody knew what he was doing. Everybody knew the direction he was taking the country, and quite frankly, from what you see in the, from what you see in Origins, he was crazy. He was out of his damn mind. He was unfit to lead a country. This might be the way to go, is something in this set. Because she's Nordic anyway. Until I can get the other stuff that I actually want. I only have so many choices here. I kind of like that for what I'm going with right now. And of course, I'll make changes to this as I go. I don't detest that at all. Oh yeah, but Jimba, he wasn't in a position of political power that could have caused the same kind of problem as Daikun. I wonder if I should go with something like that, where it leaves what looks like an opening for people to target her stomach, and that's where she finds her openings in combat. Purposely create an opening that the enemy will take, drag them in, and then usher them out. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Yeah, but that's not what happened to Char. Char was broken from a young age. He was broken from a young age from losing his mom and being influenced by a father that was quite frankly out of his damn mind. I mean, you get things from your parents, you just do, that if you never stop and think about it, like, even people that say things like, I'll never want to be my dad or whatever, chances are you're more like that person than you'll ever realize. Because you get certain things from watching your parents that you don't even realize you've picked up. Like, I do things all the time that I know come from my dad. Like, without a doubt. And also, if his father was very blatantly suffering from some kind of mental illness, because the dude was just wrong, it's very possible that that was passed on to Char from the very beginning. There's probably no real way that he was ever going to avoid being that person. And then all the hate that he grew up with, because he wasn't even necessarily interested in what Jimba had to say, because if Jimba could have actually swayed that persistence in Char from the very beginning, then back when he had the chance to buy the mobile suits and shit like that at the very beginning, when he was going to make his coup, before he was put down, because he was put in line by Mass, the father that they were living with. Then Char would have been, back then, he would have been manipulated into that course of reasoning. But he wasn't. Yeah, we'll try to build off of this. No spikes. most of these arm things. Okay, I don't detest that. Well, like, I never got through Seed. See, I started in Seed Destiny, which was... I just went to Best Buy one night, and it was there, so I bought it. I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get that. Well, I wish I'd have known... because while I was watching it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I can't care because I don't understand what is happening. And that ran me pretty low on whether or not I gave a shit about it. So I kind of left it behind. And then when I finally had another chance to kind of go back and do the original, I kind of missed out on it. Now, I do own it. I went and I bought it, because I bought a whole bunch of shit recently, like very recently. I bought a whole mass of shit. I have like 9 different things that I'm currently watching. Right now, I'm watching all the way back through Wing again. And because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. And I'm watching it and, like... I'm not overly excited with what I am seeing. I'll put it that way. I wish it was better. Definitely wish it was better. But I don't hate it. I mean, I'm getting through it, but yeah, and Seed is one of the other games. It's one of the other things that I did go when I got. That's pretty cool. I don't hate that either. Yeah, but while you're caring about that, I'm... How do I put this? I'm pretty much at my wit's end in terms of how much I give a shit about what I'm seeing in Wing so far. Like, I have never seen such blatant fucking use over and over and over again of plot armor. Like, the Gundams are basically invincible because... And, like, fucking... Not a huge fan. Let's go back up to the chest, because I actually like this style. I'm curious. This is Sword Thorn Breeches. Ooh, no. So it's one of these two. I think I'm falling to this one for right now. And let's... Yeah, I might like that a lot. Yeah, I like that. Hands are solid for right now. Ooh, what are those? Okay, I'm not going with the boots for it. Yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, though, because it's 7:30. Yeah. But I had a good time for what it was worth.